Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Bay Area Case Studies Virtual College Fair. Thanks so much for joining this session. Just a couple of announcements before we get started. Use your Q&A button to ask questions of our panelists. They love to hear from you and they love to answer your questions. Anything about their universities, about the college application, really anything related to college admission is fair game. Your microphone and your camera are turned off, so the panelists won't be able to see or hear you. The Q&A button is really the one way you have to interact with us. Also, there will be another session after this, so be sure to sign up to hear from some other universities then, and the presentation and all of the presentations are being recorded, so you can view those again. They should be online within about a week at strivescan.com/BACS. I'd like to now turn it over to our first presenter, who is Morgan from Wake Forest University.
Awesome, thank you so much, Josh. Let me just get my screen up. Hello and good evening, too fast. Good evening, everybody. It is 10 p.m. here on the East Coast, so this is like real late, I feel like, for me, but I'm so grateful to be here today. Like I said, my name is Morgan. I'm an assistant dean of admissions at Wake Forest University. And hopefully in these next 6 minutes, I can just share a little bit more about the college with y'all. So Wake Forest is a liberal arts college. We are located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, roughly a couple hours from the beach, a couple hours from the mountains. So really best of both worlds in that aspect. Our school is considered a small, medium-sized school. So we have roughly 5,000 undergraduate students and 2,800 grad students. So our commitment and our focus is definitely more on the undergrad side of the spectrum, focusing on undergraduate teaching, undergraduate learning. Of course, kind of the benefit of having some graduate students as well as graduate schools on our campus, such as the business school, the law school, the medical school downtown, is that as an undergrad student, you get access to all of their resources, even as an undergraduate. So that really makes us fit the mold of being a small liberal arts college, but having the resources of a larger research institution. And so I mentioned that we are located in Winston-Salem. We are roughly 2 to 3 miles away from downtown Winston-Salem, and we've actually relocated there in some ways, extending our campus, where you'll find our Wake Downtown campus in the main city center. So Wake Downtown is where our medical school is located for graduate students. It is also where we house 4 different undergraduate STEM majors, one of them being engineering. And so throughout the year, students who are wanting to major in those areas will take courses down here, but it's also an open facility for students in all other disciplines. We actually have 16 different majors that end up, or 16 different professors rather, that end up coming to Wake Downtown and teaching yearly. And so the goal is that every student at least gets to take one class at our Wake Downtown campus. Additionally, it's just a really great way to get into the city. It's so close to our main campus, but it's also a very, very vibrant community. Winston-Salem is home to roughly 250,000 people. It's also home to 3 other undergrad colleges. And so as a student on campus, it is very common to go downtown to meet other students, to go to different events, go to our national film festival, go do free yoga in Bailey Park, just a lot to get involved in. So you have that access to both be a community member on our main campus where there's lots to do, but also in the city itself. Shifting to where you'll be spending a lot of your time as a student is going to be the classroom. And so I want to highlight a couple of things about Wake Forest in the classroom setup environment. And so for Wake Forest, all of our classes are taught by Wake Forest faculty members. You'll never have a class taught by a TA. In addition to that, our student faculty ratio is 11 to 1. So what that really means is that on average, your classes are going to be roughly 20 students in size. That will be really consistent your entire 4 years while you're a student on campus. And because we are a liberal arts college, we really want to give you the time to explore what areas you feel like you could be interested in, whether that be across disciplines, across departments. And so because of that, students actually do not declare a major until the end of their sophomore year. Hopefully that is exciting to know you don't need to make that decision right away, but it is kind of time that you are given to really explore your areas of interest. On campus, we see that 90% of our students end up kind of declaring in more than one area. So they might be a major in one and minor in another thing. And then roughly 34% of our students have double majors. Again, that can be interdisciplinary as well. Now, the next thing I want to highlight is outside of classroom environment, what you can expect there. The other 2 things that Wake is most known for is first undergraduate research, and then secondly, our study abroad opportunities. And so firstly, as it relates to undergraduate research, on our campus, roughly 2/3 of students are involved in undergraduate research. Of that amount, 50% do research directly alongside a professor, faculty member, and then the other 50% get their research fully funded. And so I think this is just a really great opportunity to kind of dive deeper into that thing that you're really passionate about. Of course, there are lots of opportunities on the STEM side, but there are equal opportunities on other departments, in other departments as well, such as English, humanities, social sciences. A couple years ago, my friend got her research fully funded to go to England to study Jane Austen and how social location affected her writing. And so again, it can be as specific and kind of niche as you want it to be, depending on your areas of interest. The other thing, like I said, that we're known for is our study abroad opportunities. And so 75% of our students end up going abroad. So that makes us ranked 4th in the nation for study abroad programs. We have over 400 programs to 70 different countries. So many to choose from. In addition to having abroad programs, we also have a couple more local, if you will, study away opportunities is what we call them. They happen both in Washington, D.C., as well as the San Francisco Bay Area. And so these are opportunities that are semester long that students go take classes, but they also do an internship. So it's a great opportunity to get that professional experience while you're also living and learning in a different city. When you're not away from campus, you're living on campus. We guarantee housing for 4 years, and students are required to live on campus for 3. For our seniors, we see that a majority, or not majority, my apologies, half of them end up continuing living on campus their senior year. So really what that means is it's just a really social place. We have over 200 clubs and organizations students can be a part of, whether that be from our comedy troupe to Greek life, orchestra. We have performances happening every 3rd day, additional opportunities to get involved in service. And then lastly, we are the smallest D1 school in a Power 5 conference. So lots of opportunities to get involved while you're a student at Wake. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Morgan. Next, we'll hear from Matthew at Boston University.
Ooh. Sorry, there you go, Matthew.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Matthew Gallery. I am a Senior Assistant Director on the Board of Admissions with Boston University. Just providing a quick overview, but also wanted to make sure that you had access to additional resources as you go. So I'm going to put some information into the chat. Just my contact and ways to check out more information. So Boston University, to start, we are the 4th largest private research and teaching institution in the country with a little over 16,000 undergraduate students. And I think it's important to share on our community, but also our physical location within the city. So everything that you see in that backdrop space there is Boston proper, so this actual city part, and then everything in this space is our campus. And I think it's important for students to understand a little bit more about our college campus and the physical layout, because it really is the best of both worlds, in that we are an urban institution integrated into the city. The T runs directly through our campus. The T is the train. It's kind of like the BART. But also have that residential and that campus community feel. We guarantee housing all 4 years, and 85% of our students live on campus, ranging from dorms to apartments to suites to, I thought this was a nice contrast. Boston and the Bay Area are number 1 and number 2 for brownstones across the country. So lots of different ways to reside on campus and be involved. And students coming from really all over, from of course all 50 states in the US. California is the 3rd most represented state on BU's campus, but truly from all around the globe. A quarter of our students come from an international background from over 120 countries around the world. So at a school like BU, there are so many different languages, cultures, identities, and ultimately academic pursuits. At BU, we offer over 300 programs to study across 10 undergraduate schools and colleges, with plenty of flexibility to match, making sure that students have the opportunity to explore multiple different degree programs. Over 70% of our students will have some form of secondary option, whether that be a second major, a dual degree, a double major, or adding on minors, and that can be across schools and colleges once again. In fact, 1/3 of our students come in undeclared, so there's no pressure to know what you want to do right from day one, or if you do, you have flexibility to jump right into your professional studies. At BU, we do offer a liberal arts education in the form of what we call the BU Hub. The BU Hub is a program that's really designed around introducing students to important skill sets in what we call capacities, but in spaces that are going to be interesting and relevant to what you're interested in learning in. For example, rather than just having every single student take a first-year English class where every single person is studying Shakespeare, which we offer plenty of if that is your interest, we also offer reading and writing skills through cybersecurity and national security, through the science of astronomy or food in place, where you can learn about the culture of food. So making sure you're learning these important skill sets, but in spaces that are going to be, again, interesting and relevant to what you want to engage with. And of course, your number one resource to explore your academics are going to be your professors. At BU, we have a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 27. So ensuring that you can have meaningful relationships and connections with your professors. They're not just going to be your teachers. They didn't just go from degree to degree to begin teaching. They've been a part of these industries, part of these fields, and they're bringing that into the classroom space. For example, our international relations department has a former CIA agent on staff. Our journalism program have folks who have been a part of the Boston Globe. We want to ensure that you're learning real world experience and bringing that into the classroom so that you can then in turn bring that back into the real world. BU is a institution that is considered tier 1 for research, which is just a fancy term for there's a lot of money and resources in that research space. So ensuring that our students can be a part of that. Innovation is a big piece at BU, and ensuring that all students have access to that research enterprise. That, of course, means in traditional STEMs, we have over 1,000 laboratory spaces on campus, but also across every industry, from fine arts to music to Englishes to languages of the world, and ensuring, once again, that students can access that research enterprise regardless of their major. And one of the ways that we do that is through our undergraduate research opportunities program, or UROP for short. UROP is a way for students to be able to come up with their own research proposals of what they want to study, how they want to study it, what types of resources, spaces, stipends they may need. And UROP funds undergraduates to the tune of over $1 million annually. And again, it's right in the name, it's the undergraduate program. So all $1 million+ of that is going directly to undergraduate-led research. That's of course going to be on campus in the city of Boston and all around the globe. We are a global institution on campus, but also getting out into those spaces. Just shy of half of our students will study abroad at least once during their undergraduate career. So ensuring that you have the ability and the capacity to be able to engage in that cultural experience. But you also can do professional opportunities while you're abroad, research as well as internships. About 90% of our total student body will participate in at least one internship prior to graduating. So ensuring, again, that you're having that professional real world experience. Through our Center for Career Development, they'll be able to connect you through programs like Handshake as well as career fairs to be able to assist as you connect into the real world using our alumni network and using the different corporations that recruit our students directly. And students will pursue internships again in the city itself, across the US. We do have partnerships in LA, in DC, in the Bay Area, in New York, and more. So ensuring that students have the ability to have that real world experience no matter what their majors are and what academics they're studying. But of course, you can take advantage of Boston in more than one way, of course, for your academics and for your professional experiences, also just to be a college student. There are over 60 colleges within a 10-mile radius of the city of Boston. So ensuring that you have the ability to be able to, again, really take advantage of the city itself. Your BUID gets you free access to museums around the city. It gets you $9 tickets to the Red Sox. A lot of great perks of just being a student within the city itself. And also, again, fostering and forming that community on campus. There are over 450 clubs and organizations that students can be a part of, ranging from 40 cultural organizations, 24 Division I varsity sports, a number of a cappella groups, bands, ensembles, orchestras, a beekeeping club. Our fitness and recreation center has a lazy river in it. So anything that you want to be a part of, you have the ability to do so, again, both on campus and in the city itself. All right, thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Matthew. And next we'll hear from Morgan from Lehigh University.
Great, thank you so much, Josh. Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Volkart, and I work for Lehigh University. I'm the Associate Vice Provost for the Western Region and International Recruitment, and I work with all of the students from Northern California, my home state of Nevada, as well as students in Africa and Latin America. I'm also a Lehigh alum myself, and I made that trek from west to east, having grown up in Las Vegas, Nevada. So Lehigh is actually a private residential university. We have about 5,200 undergraduate students. We also have graduate students just under 2,000, but very focused at the undergraduate level.
Morgan, sorry to interrupt. We're not seeing your screen yet.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
There we go. Fantastic.
Okay, so sorry about that. But moving along here, so we actually have a medium size, so that means you're going to have access to a lot of resources, but also access to your professors with a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We do focus on fostering an entrepreneurial way of thinking as well as a global perspective through a very interdisciplinary and hands-on approach to learning. Here you'll see an aerial shot of Bethlehem in the Lehigh campus. Just within walking distance of our campus, you'll find over 15 different types of cuisines, 20 different restaurants. We get lots of festivals throughout the year. Any kind of outdoor activity you can think of will be within walking or driving distance. We also have an airport just 10 minutes from our campus. You'll also see that we're about an hour and a half drive to both New York City and Philadelphia. And we also have a West Coast presence where I'm actually based out of our Western Regional Office in Foster City. And academically, you're looking at 5 different colleges, one of them more focused at the graduate level, that'll be our College of Education. But our other colleges have over 100 different majors. You'll find 50 in arts and sciences, about 20 in engineering, 10 in business, and many different interdisciplinary programs like our integrated degree in business and engineering. We have a computer science and business program that's the only one duly accredited in both areas, and also a degree in integrated degree in engineering and arts and sciences, just to name 3 of the many interdisciplinary programs that we offer. But for students who may not know what they want to major in, like me, I actually switched my major 3 times at Lehigh and was ultimately still able to have a double major in 4 years. I was able to study abroad in China. I did multiple internships and was also playing a Division I sport all through college. So thanks to the flexibility, you can really make the most of your time at Lehigh and do quite a bit as well and get to know your professors. So I do want to talk about some of that hands-on learning experience that our students get at Lehigh. So not only are they able to do research, since we are a research institution, but we do encourage them to come up with their own ideas for projects and applying their learning. And we have massive maker spaces on the top of the mountain. That's why we call this our mountaintop experience. And we are built on the side of the mountain. But up there, our students are bringing to life ideas that they propose. We've given them funding and resources. And a lot of times they're working on things that nobody's ever done before. They work in interdisciplinary teams. More often than not, there's no credit attached to this, so there's no bad grades. Therefore, no one's afraid of failing. They are more creative. They take more risks than they might normally take in a classroom setting. So this is a great way for students to apply what they're learning and again, work across disciplines as well. But they're also applying learning through internships and co-ops. So our engineers do a co-op in their junior year, which is 8 months long, and they still graduate within 4 years. A lot of our students are interning. These are some of the top companies where they may be working after graduation, but that we partner with also on the West Coast. And is part of the reason why we have our presence here is to make sure our students are exposed to the opportunities out here during their time at Lehigh and also after graduation. And the Lehigh at NASDAQ Center is our largest physical space, and that's right in the financial district of San Francisco. We offer classes there, design thinking workshops, events with alumni and students. We run our internship program out of there where students do 8 to 10 week internships in the summertime. We actually provide free housing and a stipend for them to live off during that time, but there's programs running throughout the year and a great way for students from the Bay Area to really stay connected to opportunities, industry, and also our alumni network out here if they're planning to return to the Bay Area or the West Coast for that matter. And then that global perspective is really important for our students. So no matter what you're studying at Lehigh, you have access to our United Nations partnership where students can attend briefings at the UN every Thursday. We have internships there as well as opportunities for you to serve as a youth ambassador for an NGO at the UN. Not only that, but we've got fully funded international internships that are 6 to 8 weeks in the summertime. Again, that any major can take part in, not to mention study abroad in over 250 programs in 70 different countries. And finally, you can take advantage of all these unique opportunities with the backdrop of being able to, take part in clubs and organizations, Greek life, community service, sports, you name it. You'll also find a lot of school traditions at Lehigh, our bed races. We've got 25 Division I sports. We actually have the longest played rivalry in the history of college football with another L school that's about 20 minutes from us. And we actually played our 150th game against them at Yankee Stadium, packed the entire stadium and lit up the Empire State Building with our school colors. So it is a pretty big deal. Excuse me. And I'm going to leave you with that fun fact for now and hope that you will take advantage of the many opportunities to learn more about Lehigh and connect. And thank you again for listening.
Thanks so much, Morgan. Next, we'll hear from Liam at Sarah Lawrence College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Liam. I'm an admission counselor at Sarah Lawrence, and I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about the college tonight. First, I want to give you some just basics. We've got Sarah Lawrence College is a small liberal arts and sciences school of about 1,350 students located about 15 miles north of Manhattan. As you can see on the map on the left, the campus is one of these two white dots in the top right-hand corner of the map. This is the Metro North's Harlem line that goes right into Grand Central Station in about 30 to 35 minutes. Students really have the opportunity to go in for recreational purposes as well as things like internships. But I always like to emphasize that New York City really is a supplement to student life and not the focal point. The campus itself is very much in a residential area. It's a very traditional liberal arts campus vibe on the campus itself. And so there's a lot of interaction and a lot of engagement in the different kinds of goings on. You never have to worry about it turning into some kind of ghost town on the weekends. There's plenty to do and plenty of people there every single day. In terms of what I want to spend most of my time today talking about, though, I want to go into the academic structure that we offer, because I really think that is what is most distinctive about the college. This picture on the screen comes from one of our seminar conference courses. It's about 90% of our courses, our academic courses, follow this format. This is the seminar component, which is a roundtable discussion-based class of about 12 students and caps at 15. So it's always really intimate, really interactive, and a great opportunity for students to bounce ideas off of their peers as well as off of the professor directly. In addition to this, though, students also have an opportunity to meet individually with the professor of the class every other week for about 30 to 45 minutes during a time known as conferences. So at the beginning of the semester, that's usually just getting to know one another. But as the course progresses, you can start asking questions about course readings and course material, make connections to current events as well as your other classes that you're taking. But the main focus of this time is to start thinking about a larger independent project that you'll be completing for the course. This project is something that really is meant to be based on your own unique passions and interests. It is encouraged to be interdisciplinary, and it doesn't have to fall in line exactly with the course curriculum. So just to give you a few examples, a student in a writing class might do a portfolio of poetry or short stories, or even a few chapters of a novel. A student in a foreign language class might do some kind of translation of a text. And a student in the sciences might do some hands-on scientific research for their project. We really do encourage students to take this as an opportunity to hop in the driver's seat and really take control of their studies. Because you're doing a little bit more work in each of your classes, you are earning 5 credits per class and you're only taking 3 courses per semester. So you're doing the same amount of work overall. It'll definitely do take as much time as any other course structure, but it really is a different distribution in the sense that you get to dig a little bit deeper into each class that you're taking, and you're not stretched quite so thin. Again, that's about 90% of the courses that we offer at the college. The other 10% being small lectures that usually range between 25 and 35 students in those courses. Those are still taught by professors, never TAs or graduate students teaching any of those courses. And they do have a component that is a group conference, which looks a lot like a seminar. The only exception to either of those two styles comes in the performing arts, where it's a more conservatory structure within the liberal arts education model. The other thing that I want to talk about today, though, is the curriculum itself and a few of those unique features. So we have an open curriculum in which every student designs their own course of study. The idea of an open curriculum is a few different, there's a few different points that I want to kind of highlight there. First, when you are applying to the college, you apply to the school as a whole, and you're into the school as a whole. So you have access to every class and program upon admission. Secondly, no matter what your main focus area happens to be, you still have access to the rest of the courses as you see fit. So it's not unusual at all to have students who are both pre-med but continuing to play the flute, for example. You can combine these areas very, very much based on your own interests and kind of your own pursuits. And then lastly, we also do have students, we don't have reserved seating in our courses for students studying just one specific area. So if you're in a psychology course, you'll be taking that course alongside mathematicians, historians, linguists, artists, all coming together and tackling some of the same problems from slightly different angles. So it creates a very dynamic atmosphere where you're learning just as much from your peers as you are from the professor directly. Then we take this a step further at Sarah Lawrence by offering to have every student design their own course of study. And so this is an opportunity to pick and choose course by course the classes that are best suited for you. You have a faculty mentor that you will have that can help guide you through this process. So it's a great balance between giving students autonomy in their course selection, but at the same time having that guide to make sure that you are taking all of the classes that really will be imperative so that you are a competitive applicant to a job or a graduate school when you do finish up. So that is what I would like to share with you today. I do hope you enjoy the rest of the sessions. I've got my info on the screen though, so you can definitely reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Liam. And next we'll be hearing from Maggie at St. Olaf College.
All right. Let's see here. Well, thanks so much, everyone. And again, my name is Maggie Matson-Larson. I am coming to you from Minnesota, from St. Olaf College. We are a community of 3,000 undergraduate-only students. It's a small private liberal arts college. Our location is in Northfield, Minnesota. We share the town with Carleton College, so two pretty small private liberal arts colleges in one small town of 20,000 people. It's pretty unique. You can see from the map of Minnesota, we are in the southern part of the state. So we are in located about 45 minutes south of Minneapolis and St. Paul. So the Twin Cities area itself is about 3 million people in the metro area, second largest urban setting outside of Chicago in the Midwest. A major international airport within a 40-minute drive of campus. So we are not in the city, we are not in the suburbs, we're definitely in our own small town, but located close enough to the cities and to the airport for students to have a lot of, be able to go back and forth from California or from wherever they may be coming from. This, by the way, yes, we do have all 4 seasons. People hear Minnesota, they think of Olaf the snowman from the movie Frozen. We are not frozen all the time. We are frozen a few months out of the year. But all of our students embrace all of the seasons. We have students from all 50 states and about 95 countries. Moving into sort of the environment at St. Olaf. So as I mentioned, we're a liberal arts college. We do offer over 85 majors, programs, and concentrations. Concentrations are our version of a minor. Our most popular major is biology, followed by economics and math, art and music and English and sociology, anthropology, and I think chemistry as well. As those are all in psychology, all in the top 10 most popular majors. So a good variety of students major in a lot of different things. Pre-health is very popular at St. Olaf. We have a lot of pre-professional program support. A lot of students interested in going to medical school. About 73% is our acceptance rate to medical school. So that is something that we do very well and that we're known for in the science world. We do also send more students abroad than any small college in the country. So we are ranked first in the number of students we send abroad. Our structure, our academic calendar is 4-1-4. So that does make it very conducive to study abroad for a semester, either the fall or the spring semester, or for the month of January. So month of January is when students take one class either on campus or off campus somewhere else in the US or abroad. And the majority of those programs are led by St. Olaf's faculty. So you're going with professors and students, and that just helps reinforce the community. We're also very well known for our fine arts at St. Olaf. All 4 of our fine arts departments offer accredited majors. So art, dance, theater, and music. About a third of our students are involved with music. Our music program is internationally known for its strength. And students can be as involved with music as they want without majoring. With any of our arts, music is definitely the most popular of all of our arts, but you do not need to major. You can be as involved as you want. and major in something else. You also could major, you could have a Bachelor of Arts in Music. We do offer also a Bachelor of Music degree. So a little bit more of a conservatory style degree, but also within a liberal arts setting. So that is very popular with a number of students. Most of our students do live on campus for all 4 years. That is part of the community. Students love the community at St. Olaf. That's the reason most students choose to come to the college. The place is really, it's a beautiful physical location and physical space, but it really is about the students and the people that you're sharing your 4 years with. Students like to eat together. We do have one dining hall for all 3,000 students. That's in the photo there up top, excuse me. You can see our cafeteria. So students like to come together in community and share time. We do have a number of student clubs and organizations, tons of student leadership. For a small liberal arts college, we have a lot that we offer. We do offer Division III varsity athletics, and also about 75% of our students participate in intramural sports. So there's a lot to do. Getting through St. Olaf in 4 years is one of the primary goals. So we have an 82% national, 82% graduation rate, a 4-year graduation rate. And so that is really important. When you come to St. Olaf, you have time to explore, but we have an office called the Piper Center for Vocation and Career that is there to help you if it's pre-health, pre-law, if you just need help figuring out how to apply for a job or find an internship. That is a one-stop shop on campus to get that support. So that is a very popular option. Students pictured here are on one of our connections programs. So this was a program that went to Los Angeles. I think this photo is from 2019. And we do have the majority of our students who participate in internships, research, or field experience by the time they graduate. So that is a really big focus of our student body and of our faculty and staff. We're there to support students figuring out what they want to do after graduation. A little bit about our admissions. We are test optional. We did add a round of early action this year. This is our first year with early action, so a way to apply early and not be kind of bound by your decision quite yet. 2 rounds of early decision and 1 round of regular decision. We are one of 80 colleges in the country that is committed to meeting 100% of demonstrated financial need. Almost 80% of our students do receive need-based financial aid, but the majority of our students, 98%, receive either a need-based grant as part of their financial aid award or a scholarship as well. So we do offer merit scholarships. We also offer scholarships in all 4 of our fine arts. So art, dance, music, and theater. That is something that we have a lot of students who are interested in. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. You can see this is another season, fall. This is one of the most beautiful times on campus, fall in Minnesota. But feel free to reach out to me. Here's my contact information. I look forward to chatting with you. Have a good rest of your night.
Thank you so much, Maggie. And our final presenter is Sarah from Purdue University.
Let me go ahead and share my screen here. There we go. So thank you guys for joining us this evening. I will try to make this short and sweet. As he said, my name is Sarah. I am one of the admissions counselors, actually locally based here in the Bay Area for Purdue University. We are kind of an outlier in this group in that we are the largest school in this little pod here. So we have about 45,000 total students, about 35,000 of them are going to be undergraduate level. So yes, we have a lot of people on campus, but the nice thing is our average class size is only about 30 students, so pretty similar to what you guys are used to now in high school. And our student to teacher ratio is about 13:1. We are an incredibly diverse university as well. So honestly, it's pretty similar to the Bay Area and all the diversity that we have out here. We have students from all 50 states, plus over 120 other different countries as well. With California, they're actually our 3rd largest state represented on campus. So more likely than not, you guys are going to know a few people before you start your first Purdue class. As far as our location, we are in West Lafayette, Indiana, not Lafayette, California. So don't be confused. We're about an hour from Indianapolis and about 2 hours from Chicago. So the nice thing is the students are really able to get the best of both worlds, and that they have that traditional college experience in the college town. But if they want a city fix, it's easy to hop in a get around or zip car, go up to Chicago for some deep dish pizza, or maybe down to Indianapolis, walk around the canal, enjoy the restaurant scene down there as well. With transportation, we do have shuttles that go from Purdue to both Chicago O'Hare and Indianapolis International. So it's super easy for you guys to make your flights, assuming you will fly as opposed to drive out to campus. And then there's tons of things for students to do right at Purdue all throughout the year. So concerts, comedians, Broadway shows, professional lecture series from Neil deGrasse Tyson, Soledad O'Brien, political debates, whatever you're looking for. So even right on our campus, there's a lot of things for you guys to choose from. So just to help you guys get to know our community a little bit, the student on the far left there is Alexis Roberts. She is actually a student in biology. We have 9 different majors within the biology department. And research in general is just very, very accessible. And in fact, Alexis, she got involved in some research studying jaw biomechanics in sculpins, which is a type of fish. And one of her unique opportunities was actually to conduct that research in the Caribbean. So she was able to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, do that study abroad experience in the Caribbean, while also getting that research experience as well. And then the third student from the left, that is SJ. He's one of our students in electrical engineering technology. And engineering technology majors are a little bit different from engineering in that they are incredibly hands-on and very project-based. And he got involved in some research and partnering with the brand Tupperware to help develop some smart Tupperware. And the cool thing about his research is that the Tupperware that he helped to develop was able to study how fresh the food is that it's storing. It's able to communicate with the smart refrigerator to tell you when to add it to your grocery list next or how much longer it'll last, things like that. So research is certainly very, very accessible for our students outside the classroom. And a really common question I get from students, especially out here in the Bay Area, is where can I get a job or internship? So our Center for Career Opportunities is the main hub for jobs, internships, interviewing, anything you're looking for. In fact, we host the largest student-run career fair in the country called the Industrial Roundtable. We bring over 400 companies from all over the world right to our campus every fall. So Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Lockheed Martin, Walt Disney Company, PricewaterhouseCoopers, anything you are thinking of or looking for. It's an incredibly diverse career fair that we host every year. And then as far as student clubs and organizations, yes, we have a lot. Kind of goes along with the theme of being such a large institution. So whatever you guys are looking for, whether it's Greek life, bands, orchestras, and choirs, philanthropic-based organizations, you name it, we have it. And then for majors, same thing. We have over 200 majors that we offer, anything from engineering to computer science, agriculture, pharmacy, health sciences, nursing, professional flight. One of our most competitive majors, or I guess a couple of them, are going to be engineering, computer science, as well as nursing. So pay attention to our deadlines because some of those programs are certainly going to have some earlier deadlines. And then with evaluating your application, a couple of things that I just want to mention real quick is that it is holistic, but we are test flexible. So essentially that means if you have a test score, great, we would love to see it. If not, that is totally fine. So don't stress out if you aren't able to register for a test date. You're still eligible for admissions, scholarships, honors college, everything like that. And then last but not least, what I want to leave you here is with the cost. So the main thing I want to point out here is our frozen tuition. We've had frozen tuition for 10 years in a row. So we've not had a single tuition hike since 2012. In addition to that, we've also reduced the cost of room and board. So it's actually cheaper for students to attend Purdue now than it was when I graduated back in 2012. Please don't do math to try to figure out how old I am, but that just goes to show you that value is a huge priority for us here at Purdue in reducing that student loan debt in the long term. So I'm going to include in the chat here a link to our virtual experiences page as well as my contact information, but thank you guys so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And we have just a few minutes left in our time. So if you still have questions, don't be shy. You're welcome to use the Q&A button to ask questions of any of the presenters. And if I could ask them to turn their cameras back on, and we have about 6 minutes, so 30 seconds 45 seconds maybe each, you could give us one fun and interesting fact about your college or university, maybe a famous alum, a really cool place on campus, a unique program, fun tradition, really anything fun. So let's start with Morgan from Wake Forest. Or maybe we're missing Morgan. Let's start with Matthew from BU.
Sure. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, I think a fun fact about BU is we are an institution of firsts. For example, we are the first institution to offer engineering internship abroad programs, and we have 3 of them. First institution to offer a PhD to a woman, Helen Maggle-White. We're the first institution to have a Black dean at a predominantly white institution, Marsh Chapel, Howard Thurman. So just a couple of really quick fun fact firsts.
Morgan from Lehigh.
Hello again, everyone. So since we're all in the Bay Area, at least our audience and myself, I thought I would make mention to a landmark that lots of you may be familiar with, the Golden Gate Bridge. And if you didn't know, it was Lehigh alums and their construction company that built the Golden Gate Bridge. So hopefully you'll think of us next time you see it.
Thank you, Morgan. And Liam from Sarah Lawrence College.
I'm just going to share a few of the names of alums in the film industry in particular. One of them being Kara Yules, the actor who plays Wesley in The Princess Bride. They do a screening of that at the beginning of every year, which is always a big hit. But other alums include Jordan Peele, as well as J.J. Abrams.
Great. And Maggie from St. Olaf College.
All right, so we are located, as I mentioned, in Northfield, which has an actual cereal factory in town. And the location of, it's a Malto-Meal cereal factory, part of the Post brand. We are located across sort of a highway from them. So if the wind blows just right, the smell of cereal being made just totally envelops campus. And when you get really used to it, you can smell, you can kind of figure out, are they making like the Fruity Pebbles or the chocolate version or whatever, but the whole campus smells like cookies or brownies or baking. So fun fact.
Captain Crunch Day is my favorite. Sarah from Purdue.
So my fun fact is probably one of our most famous alumni, aside from Drew Brees, is probably going to be Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon. We actually have about 24 astronaut alumni, so we've been dubbed the cradle of astronauts. So very, very rich history with NASA, even outside of individuals physically going to space. So a lot of research and internships pairing with NASA as well.
Great. And Morgan from Wake Forest, last but not least.
Yeah, we'll see if it works this time. So a fun fact about us, I guess I can't see our mascot is the most unique after seeing Sarah's for Purdue. But our mascot is the Demon Deacon. And so it's a funny anecdote about how it happened. Wake Forest is historically a Baptist school. And so kind of started as just a normal deacon as our mascot. And then we like to say that in a game with Trinity Blue Devils, now known as Duke, our team was doing very well. And apparently a school reporter said, gosh, those demons are playing like real devils out there, or real like something like devilish. And so that ended up evolving into our grimacing Demon Deacon, which, believe it or not, people often ask us about. So that's a little bit fun fact.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for joining us today. We really appreciate having you here. When you close your window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We really appreciate the feedback that you can provide. Also, there's one more session coming up. Sign up to hear from some more universities. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as recordings of all the other sessions at strivescan.com/BACS. Thank you again so much to the panelists. It's so great to see you all, and everyone have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Have a good evening, guys.